The ducks melt. I love this. Oh, he spun it! It's kicking off! Way to get around. It's got a mouth right next to off-roader. Hi, Madam C, and welcome to the almighty Honda Accord, and we're heading to JDM Combe at Castle Combe, which is for JDM or just Japanese cars. We're in a convoy with an S15 up front and the rest of the Southwest car crew. So big shout out for Joe for sorting us out with tickets because we were a little bit late getting them. We've got Jungle Scoggin. Where is he? What was he doing down there? So we're heading into the blue section. There is an RX-7 and an S2000 in front that you can just about see, but we'll see them in there. There's an S14 down there in the woods. So right at the front we have a colour flip Supra, R34, R33, a Celica, a Z, another Supra, Civic, Evo and Evo. So we're with the Southwest car crew, right opposite the drift cars in the almighty diesel Accord. Is that an exhaust on your Aristo, or are you just happy to see me? So our first section that we are visiting is the trade section, not because there's a chaser there, but that helps. It's because Chloe likes looking at stickers, and there's a lot here, a lot to look at, a lot of variety in stickers. This is where sticker showcases are born. Trouble is, the stage I've now got to is a lot of these cars, especially around the trade stand sections, I see at most of the shows I go to. So I lean more towards the quirky stuff around the back, like this Jaguar van. And matching its brave blue wheels is a blue Jaguar bonnet emblem too. And often stickers are actually cheaper and better than repairing it properly. So here we are at the drift cars. They're doing a bit of manoeuvring around with the S14s. There's a white chaser on the end, but it's not all white, but that's all right. There's also the SX Owners Club with all these 180, 200 and other SXs, including a Civic SX, and most of them seem to favour the RB over the SR. So we've got 15s, 14s, 15s, 14s, 13s, 15s, that's Geordie Motive, and I think there's a PS13 in the corner. And today's video has also been sponsored by YFood with their new lemon cheesecake lassi flavour, which I think is going to be one of my favourite flavours. I tried it recently and really like it. So the lassi range is best served cold and brilliant for when you're on the go, because this can be breakfast, lunch or dinner and keeps you full for between 3 to 5 hours. It contains all the vitamins and minerals that you need for a full meal. It's also rich in protein, lactose free and gluten free too. And it's part of YFood's brand new look with a bottle that fits much better into your hand. And it tastes delicious. So to try the lemon cheesecake lassi flavoured YFood for yourself, just click the link in the description below and use Adam10 to get 10% off your order. But beyond this section, I have found my favourite car of the show so far. Straight away we have a lifted 350Z with proper off-roading chunky tyres. There's a bit of a wide arch kit as well to kind of make up for that. So I'd love to see this actually off-roading, and I presume it actually does because it's got the light bar, it's got the roof rack as well. Never seen a roof rack on a 350. Wow. I mean, I know they're getting cheap, but this is the first time I've seen something like this done to a 350Z. I've seen it done on other cars. Looks like someone started up an RX-7 in the distance. Now, I'm looking for an FN2 Type R. Has anyone seen any FN2 Type Rs? Alternatively, a Subaru. So a lot of these sections are club sections, so the clubs part together. So we've got Subarus, FN2s, another Subaru with some angry headlights. We've got a boosted Civic here with the Screamer. Very large turbo. This Subaru reminds me of when a cartoon sees a very attractive lady and its jaw just drops. What a joker. We have El Grande selection of El Grands opposite a few R32s. And here we have a Nismo 370Z that has been slammed. Also in this, the individual display area, which has no particular club. We've got a, oh yes, Chloe spotted the ducks in the Colt. But I was looking at the wide body Mazda in green.
I was going to see if they're melted yet.
Oh.
You know,
do ducks melt?
I reckon they would.
There's the Accord with a livery and a lost Porsche Boxster. I may be a little biased because I love yellow cars, but I love this yellow S14, apparently Birdie 888. It's even got yellow tinted windows too. And obviously, always check the yellow cars. There's always something yellow inside a yellow car to display the fact that it's a yellow car. We have this kind of yellow Mickey Mouse with a finger going up its... Oh. We then have the S2K section. This one's got some yellow headlights. And further along, there's a wide body red S2000 with the carbon spoiler on the rear. We have a BMW. It's a Japanese event, but he doesn't care. In fact, he's quite rude about it. There's an S15 who's been practicing fly tipping. There's a V8 Lexus doing some revolutions behind. I think most of the sound's coming from there rather than the back. Yeah, that's Next up is the royal family. And this R32, whilst looks grey, is actually green. Wow. Next up is this very sparkly Sora next to a bunch of MX-5s. And the Mr. 2 just trying to fit in. Like, I have pop-ups I can fit in. And this Mark 1 MX-5 has what appears to be a Ford Granada V6 rather than its original straight 4, like this one has with ITBs attached to it.
Zebra.
Oh, it's a zebra. And a wide arched Mark II. It's almost like a My Little Pony strip on the front of the bonnet. See, why is he checking out the rear end of this one? Look, he's like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh. She knows what she likes. Oh, someone exploded. Chloe, for your MX-5, would you like an back box?
Oh, yes, please. That looks actually rustier than mine.
Is that possible?
Mine's literally hanging off.
Well, that's more than hanging off, it's off. And further around is quite the rarity, especially in this country. I think there's only a handful of them around. This is a Nissan Gloria. It's got a V6 and it's potentially a naturally aspirated alternative to a white Toyota Chaser. There's a Sierra over there with its doors flying high. The Nissan livery on the Datsun, and this Subaru starts a game of what's inside your car. On today's episode we have a goat in the rear seats. Normally you'd find like Scooby-Doo in the back of these, but I think it's a goat. The greatest of all time. And next to this R33 GTR there is an R32. I reckon I've seen about 10 of these, maybe even more already, so they're really flexing right now. Everyone's buying an R32. There's also some quality Datsun Z content. We next have this Corolla called Stitch with some pink and turquoise details and some characters on the dashboard. And to Chloe's delight, we have another Penosaurus X on the dashboard of the Z.
I love them.
Do you? And this 350Z is a shark. And it seems the shark has eaten a penguin. Now we've just noticed that the next session to go on track is the drifters. So we're going to watch those and then maybe restart looking at what's on display, because there's a big bunch of Civic Type Rs. There's a lot more to see, but yeah, we're going to see the drifters and then resume. We're missing it. Oh, he's spun it. Oh, right. Oh, okay, right. He's facing the wrong way. That was like 2 360s and then another 180. We need to be down there. That's where the actual corner is. Oh, there's the Chaser. Look, you could literally give them a British pound, £1 British pound, and win an MX-5.
I've already got one, but
Oh yeah.
two.
You don't have the space. Are you okay? We'll leave Chloe to do it. Oh, it's kicking off. Oh. Let's keep going. So that white antenna there on the back of the S14 is a 4G live streamer. He's not actually doing any drifting to stream. Behind the clouds, there is a white Chaser, which everyone loves. We've got the 4-door R34 next up, and an S15! Here comes Max at 16 years old. Somewhere. There he is. He is flashing all his yellow lights as well. Oh, oh. So after that excitement, we've got our chips and we're watching the parade. So you don't have to wear helmets for this. It's meant to be a slow parade, guys. Come on. And these guys seem to have got lost on their way to McDonald's. It's like a little family of 4 in their BMW. It's like, which way is it? Oh, go on, Evo. Do it. He did it. So after a bit of track action, we are back at the show to look around with our pint. There is an RX-7 section with a whole lineup of almost 10 of them. They're opposite some 3000 GTs and Mitsubishi GTOs. Hi! And I am loving the vents in the bonnet, and yes, they do vent. So he's kind of not really got the pop-ups anymore. Full pop-up delete here, and then I think the rest of them, oh no, there's another pop-up delete in purple. So in my shadow you'll notice this grey MX-5, but out of the shadow into the sunlight, the colours really pop. And next up we have this Zenki Nissan S14 Silvia, which is in a similar colour to the non-Japanese Volvo. So we now have a bit of a lesson for you about the JZX90 generation boosted barge. So this is a JZX90 Toyota Chaser, not in white, and this one is in white, but is a JZX90 generation Toyota Mark II. So there are subtle differences. I don't know if you can see as I come back, but they're only subtle. And whilst purple definitely stands out, the Brave wheels definitely do even more. And over here, beyond Katie Price, we have Mr. and Mrs. Carrot on the cube. Mrs. Carrot eats her greens, and Mr. Carrot has a tomato dressed as a pirate. And now we have a 1973 Toyota Crown S3. And how do I know that? Well, it's all written on this fact file on the roof. Now we've got an R32 driving past, one of many in the show. We've got this cool little snack here with the spoiler on the back here and a larger knob so you can whack the gear. And this car is his dream chaser, except it's not a chaser. And on this dashboard we have a grey R34 GTR. What car is it on? Well, it is on a grey R34 GTR. The Igo has a sticker of the Igo on the Igo to prove that it is an Igo. I go mad about all these stickers. So which of these RX-8s have you noticed? Is it the red one? Is it the blue one? Or is it in fact the high visibility Mazda RX-8? And we have some impromptu modifications going on this supercharged RX-8. And someone else didn't get the memo. In fact, none of these three got the memo. They're not Japanese, but a Subaru. And as we walk past Pikachu, there is a Skyline revving in the main section. So we're looking out for a crowd. We're walking past the Supra, the Yaris, the Subaru, the R33 and the Evo and the S2000 to find this white car section with a silver Evo and a blue Subaru, and the crowds are awaiting more revolutions from an R34. That is what it was. Oh, someone's joining in. The Supra is giving this chap a lift to his next destination. We have one JZ or two JZ powered wheelchairs now. That's one way to do it. That is the way to get around. Oh, he's weaving. So as the drift cars are waiting to go on for another session, we're at another section with the Zenki S14 and this 350Z over here in a Joker spec. So it's like, it's got a mouth on the rear end of it, green and purple with laughter all the way around. We've got some red writing inside the wheels and then more laughter on the green bonnet. So there you go, another Joker spec car with a bat on the dashboard, but not the kind of bat that causes a pandemic. So the drift cars are now passing through and we have a lot of sections to go through. And whilst I'm Adam C, he's Adam T. And now we have a couple of polar opposites. We've got very narrow next to very wide. The S14 next door to a Toyota Crown with various spokes in its wheels and an RB. And next door is a white R34 GTR next door to a white chaser, because everyone loves a white chaser. Well, here's a question for you. Does this Civic want to be seen? There's like an Arctic camouflage, but then high-vis details and wheels. So if he's in the mountains, he will be seen. They'll be like, oh look, there's some wheels and some lines driving by. The rest of it's completely invisible. Now it seems we've gone back in time if we kind of forget the Nissan Terrano. So we've got all kinds of Datsuns, including an R33 GTR, most of which around the 70s era. Next up is an old 300ZX next to this Datsun. I mean, if you come around the rear, past the drifting, we have an excited exhaust. And next to the S2000, we have the almighty Honda Accord next to a Bayside Blue Skyline R34 GTT. Well, I don't think the front bumper's Bayside Blue, but it does have an RB26. So, over the section that we're not allowed to cross, we have a yellow Civic with some flowers, and there's a 350Z that doesn't appear to have the engine that it should have, just next to an MX-5, who is also very pleased to see me. So that's different. Yep. But next door to the 350Z we have this park bench with two chairs. So right now we can hear drifting going on in the background, and I am right next to a pair of shafts. And we have a matte black Nissan S15 Varietta next door to the Wrap Sanctuary S14 and another Sora and another RX-7 and another S14. And the crowd are disappointed at the engine choice of the Mazda RX-7.
Clearly I'm in the wrong here.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. So we've returned back towards the car and look at what we've got. The 350Z off-roader. That's the car of the day for me, I think. A lifted 350Z with the knobbly off-roading tyres. I love that. Something a bit different, and no, I'm not going to do that with mine. So we finished the day by the Hondas we saw earlier and heading towards the show and shine section with a little MX-5 there, the Mazda 3 and a few other gems, including a Welsh RX-8 with a Welsh flag on display, and then we've got Think Bike, Think Eric on the front of this RX-8, and then just further around there are the show and shine cars. So we got the Honda Integra DC5, another Sora with a remote control car shell and some coffee cups on the dashboards. We've got the Prelude, we've got another Integra in red, I think that's my favourite so far, next to a Subaru and a PS13, and I think this is a Honda Civic in a camouflage wrap. We have the wide-bodied RX-7 with a skyline that's not part of the section, just kind of plonked here on its own. And then the rest of them includes this L Grand with the Nissan GTR wheels. We've got the purple Subaru. We've got the Honda NSX, a white Mitsubishi Evo, a grey Mitsubishi Evo with orange details. I think it's got about 1,000 horsepower. There you go, 1,012.6 horsepower. And then another Skyline R32 from the day, this one finished in a very bright yellow, next door to another S15, this one in grey. We've got the FN2 Mugen Civic, and then another bright yellow car on the Civic Type R, and then a crazy 370Z Roadster. Lady Z parks up, getting all of the attention with a really nice looking carbon fibre weave. And on the end, a wide-bodied Mark 1 MX-5. I think his door scrapes on his side skirts somewhat. Oh, I'm liking this section over here. We've got the Subaru with the tyre icing, and you'll notice, look, the Advan tyre icing matches. It's rare to come by because obviously wheels turn at different rates to each other. So we've got the Lexus, a bit of a barge there on display, next to the hell loud Evo X. So we end back up at the Southwest Car Crew section to conclude the video. I'm heading back into the almighty Accords to go home. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Go follow me on Instagram for the pictures and daily updates about these meets that I go to. But for now, thanks for watching.